Happy Friday! Today's Ask Rachel Anything question is, how do I find fit models? We've been talking about fit models quite a bit this week on social media, how to interact with them and best industry practices, a lot of my tips and tricks on how you can work with your fit model. And so one of the natural questions that came out of this, of course, was how do I find fit models? And there are many different ways that you can go about working with fit models. One of the most cost-effective ways that I've done this throughout my career is to find a teammate who is actually really close to your ideal body size chart. So if you have someone, let's say you're fitting on a size medium and you have someone on your team who measures really close to your ideal medium, you can use them as your fit model. This person is probably likely already on salary with your team, and so you don't have to pay them extra. You could always maybe offer them a little bit of a bonus, or you could offer them product or something like that as an incentive for being your fit model. But a lot of the times, if you can find someone internal on your team who can be a great fit model for you, sometimes that's even you, as long as someone else on the team can run the fittings as efficiently and as well as you can, then that is definitely a solution that I have seen and used as an apparel technical designer in the space. So working with team members to be your fit model is one thing. Beyond that, finding like a sister team. So for example, when I was at Specialized working in the apparel department, there were so many other departments, right? They make helmets and shoes and bikes and all kinds of stuff. The SBCU team was there. And so we were able to tap from some of those other teams, marketing, sales, accounting. We had all kinds of teams that we were able to go out and kind of search. Like if we maybe give you some free apparel or things that you really like at the end of the season when we don't need those samples anymore, would you be willing to come in once a week and be our fit model for an hour or so? Now, if you're going to do that, if you're at a company where you can do that and you can go out to a separate team and maybe ask someone to be your fit model, it is a very good recommendation to ask their manager if it's okay with them that their employee is going to be coming in and helping you for an hour or two every week to be your fit model. So definitely make sure that you cover all the bases there. You don't want to get somebody into trouble for doing that work for you. Above and beyond that, one of the next things that you can do is kind of do a community search. So I have done it in the past before where I have actually put like flyers with the little, tear tags at the bottom. I've put those up at like yoga studios or local gyms or different places like that where I knew maybe my ideal client was. And so if they saw maybe a poster on the wall at the gym, and of course you need to ask the gym if it's okay to put up your sign, they might see the sign and go, oh, that's a really cool opportunity. I could go be a fit model for them. Now, when you do community fit model calls, is what we call them. We call them fit model calls. You likely want to set up a day where you're going to be interviewing and measuring all of these people. So on your flyer, if you're doing this where you're reaching out to the community, you're putting out a flyer so that people can come interview basically for this fit model role with you. You want to pick like a day and a time where they can all meet either at your work facility or maybe you're going to meet them at the gym, and the gym is going to maybe give you like a small room where you can go interview people and you can measure them. One thing that I notice when you don't get to like choose the bodies yourself, so if you're not just walking around your own office going, ooh, you look like a really good medium, I think you could be our fit model, is that people aren't quite sure what size they are. And because in the apparel industry, we don't have a lot of standard sizing, my brand's medium might be different from what they're used to a medium being in the brands that they shop for. So I might put on my flyer, I'm looking for size medium fit models. And they're like, oh, I'm a size medium. Well, when they get in, maybe my ideal size medium is a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger than what they're used to. So making sure that I take all of their key measurements myself and making sure that it fits close to what my ideal body size is for my fit size garments. That is going to be really key. And then working with them to start asking some questions. So when I say interviewing them, what you want to do is maybe throw on some garments that don't fit really great, or maybe they're a little bit uncomfortable, maybe they're kind of tight. And so you want to ask them to throw those on and give you some feedback right off the bat. You need to understand how good they are at giving you feedback because your fit model is a crucial part of your fitting. And if they can't give you feedback live that is going to help you make the garment better, then you're probably going to need to move on to somebody else. Like this is a non-negotiable. If your fit model, every time they throw on a garment, is like, oh, it's super cool, I love it, and doesn't have any kind of feedback for what you could change, or maybe what's comfortable, or what's pinching, or this fabric is kind of scratchy in this spot, or I don't like the length of this, any of that kind of stuff, if they're not willing to tell you that, then they're not going to be able to help you make improvements on the garment. So that is kind of key. Get that interview out there. I will tell you a funny story. So at a cycling brand, many years ago, we were doing a fit model call in the community, and we had someone come in and they threw on our bib shorts. And if you're a part of the cycling world, this might make you laugh, but they threw on the bib shorts with the chamois on the outside. So when you wear bib shorts or shorts when you're cycling, that pad is supposed to be against your skin on the inside of the short. It is actually antimicrobial, and it is, all of the fabrics are usually super soft on all of the chamois. And so it is supposed to be on the inside against your skin. You're not even supposed to wear underwear with them. It is supposed to basically replace your underwear. And so they came out of the dressing room with the chamois on the outside, and we knew right away, like, just this person doesn't cycle. We know that they're not going to be an ideal person to be our fit model, because they're not going to be able to give us the kind of feedback that we really need. So that was kind of crucial for us. And so if you're able to test those kinds of things out, like, does this person even know how to wear this garment? Are they going to be able to give us the kind of feedback that we need in our segment? That can be really important too. Beyond doing like a community model call, you can work with model agencies. And so there are some model agencies, especially if you're in a big city. And I've done this before, where we've done a model call and asked several different agencies to send in people who measure close to our ideal base size measurements. The problem with hiring modeling agencies is that this is usually the most expensive route that you can go. Model time at these model agencies can run you anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour. Whereas if you're willing to maybe, give someone internal some product as an exchange for their time, or if you do a community model call, you might be able to get away with a slightly lower hourly fee to pay these people. That is definitely why I always recommend like going to a modeling agency as last. We also tend to find a lot of the time that going to more professional modeling agencies, they just have like a slightly different body type. So I talk a lot about being in the performance apparel space. And so if you're a performance apparel brand and you're looking for fit models to come in and wear your athletic wear, you might find that going to like a professional modeling agency is going to be a little bit more fashion forward. Their bodies tend to lean that way. So that's another reason why I don't always recommend going to professional modeling agencies, but it is always an option. And we have found some amazing fit models that way. I'm not saying it's not doable. I'm just saying it's usually the last resort on my page. So if you have any other questions about fit models or anything else in the apparel industry, please let me know. You can send a comment or DM me anytime. And I will see you next week for Ask Rachel Anything next Friday. Talk soon.